everyone, welcome back to the Shrink Shake Pod.
I'm Utkarsha,
And I'm Tina.
and we're two shrinks who like to shake things up.
Yeah, and if you are new here, thank you so much for being here. If you've been here, again, thank you. We love you. But before we get into the episode, a very quick disclaimer. This podcast is in no way, shape, or form a replacement for therapy. It is not therapy. But if you do want therapy, we are a mental health organization. All of our details are mentioned in the caption below. And you can reach out to us anywhere, really. We're omnipresent at this point.
So all of our contact details at this point are on the screen.
Mhm.
So reach out to us. Thank you for being here. We are a couple of episodes into our podcast.
How
and
many?
it's been
7?
8. Oh, this is our
Eight.
8th episode, which is quite fun. And what are we talking about today?
I am talking about my favorite topic in this entire world for the last 2 weeks.
last 2 weeks. Sure.
Yes, but
this-
it's just been something that's been a work in progress, and it's about how to decenter men.
Oh,
life.
oh, that's a fun one. I feel like that's very relevant to the space we're in, the work we
Yeah.
do, the time we're in today. And I think that one, I don't know if this is a disclaimer or not, but I think something that really needs to be said, that this is our personal opinions
Yeah,
that
of
have
course.
come out of our conversations with people we love, our friends, our clients, people we work with otherwise.
Yeah.
So everything that we talk about in this podcast is
A
from
very,
an
very
opinion
personal
space. Yes.
opinion. Yes.
And also something that's kind of come out of observation.
yeah,
from other
something,
people.
again, of course, like you covered that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think something that I would invite everyone who's watching this to do is try to watch this with like an open mind. And this is not us trying to be like, oh, men bad, but this is more about what's been the history of existing as a woman.
Yeah.
And
And I
Yeah.
feel like our position as women is very important in this
Mhm.
podcast.
yes,
And without further ado, very Shakespearean of me.
Really?
Isn't that a play?
without further ado,
Something about much ado about nothing.
much ado.
Much ado about nothing. Have you not read
I
Shakespeare?
have. The only thing this is reminding me of is Samantha in Sex and the City 2, and how she said, "Oh, Abdul, our butler." Anyway, I feel like
Yeah.
Samantha, true queen of decentering men, right?
Yeah. And I feel like she can easily come across as somebody who's not done that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what this podcast is about. That's what we're talking about today. That decentering men is not about not dating or not hooking up or
Mhm.
not having men in
Mhm.
your life. It's actually about how to figure out our relationship as women with
Yeah.
men
Yeah.
in a way where they don't seem like the end goal of something, or like men don't feel like this sort of final piece of the puzzle
Yeah.
that we
Mhm.
have to find and then
Mhm.
our life will start. Like how to kind of, in the current cultural, political, social scenario, how to build relationships where
Men aren't at the center of those.
yeah.
But I think I've been hearing this word come up so much, like in my work with my clients or on Instagram. Every second post is, oh, like how to decenter men, decentering men, a year into decentering men in our lives. But what do you understand of it? Like, what do you make of it?
I think for me, the idea, or like, when I was kind of introduced to it in a certain way, the idea came from a place that as women, we're socialized so hard to only kind of work towards finding relationship and finding a man to marry, because they're going to come in and save us and protect us and provide for us and all of it. So when I've been given the resources and I have the privilege
Mhm.
to save myself and protect myself and to provide for myself, how do
Yeah.
I understand my relationship with men then?
But I think it also comes from this major place of a deficit, no? That, oh, like this is something that's missing in my life and a man is going to come in and fix that for me. And what is that if not a product of the patriarchy? Because women do have everything they need to sustain.
Yeah.
We were not allowed to make money because of the patriarchy. Sorted that out a bit.
Somewhat.
Some of it.
Somewhat.
We
Articulation.
bring back articulation, bring back vocabulary, bring back the conversation. But but again, right, like we weren't allowed to have a job, so we couldn't make money. We weren't allowed to sort of have more agency in society, more agency over what we wear. So now when we don't need a man to sort of give us the legitimacy to tick those boxes, where do men come in?
Yeah.
And yeah,
And I feel like that we're also very mindful of the privilege that we come in, right?
of
Like
course.
we're here in the way that we're sitting here, talking to all of you. So I think like that really allows us to, in a very beautiful, poetic way, kind of reestablish, refigure connection with
Yeah.
men as people,
Yeah.
and in ideally an equal sort of
Yeah.
way.
And not in a way where they're also sort of, burdened with the
Yeah.
responsibility of,
Yeah.
oh, I have to do something to
Yeah.
have my place in this relationship.
Yeah.
No, and again, like, I think a lot of times when these conversations are being had, I hear people say that, oh, am I being like a bad feminist for doing this? Am I being a bad person for doing this? Am I, is this misandry? Am I not allowed to
Oh
speak
my
to men
God.
ever? First of all, misandry isn't real. Patriarchy kills.
I think-
Misandry is just slightly hurtful.
Yeah, I mean that also just like to like 2% people on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a bigger conversation.
That's a bigger conversation.
So, you know.
Coming back to what the podcast today is. But yeah, no, that do you think decentering men is about just not speaking to a man ever again?
I mean, I will keep my personal opinions out.
I can hear it, like it's here.
I will keep my personal opinions out of it for the sake of being dignified.
Dignified.
But I think like no, it's not about not talking to men. Like I said, I feel like this gives us a wonderful opportunity as people to then figure out how do we connect with each other if you're not providing for each other,
Yeah.
or like if you're not kind of pressured to play a role. And
Mhm.
I've had conversations with men, right? And they've also said that, oh, we feel this pressure to be the provider, to be the
Yeah.
breadwinner, and all of it. And it's the same pressure, like it's coming from patriarchy,
Mhm.
right? So decentering men is not just something that helps women in the relationships, it also kind of eases the pressure off of men in the
Yeah.
relationships. And then it puts people together face to face and be like, hey, figure out how you want to connect with each
Yeah.
other. If both of you are bringing a lot to the table and it's not coming from a place of
Yeah.
lack.
Yeah, I think a question I've been asking a lot of my clients, a lot of my friends is, what do you bring to a relationship, whether it's men or women, and wherever you lie on like the gender identity spectrum. But a common answer is that of something that is almost like a service.
Yeah.
No, that I'm compassionate, I'm kind, I'm helpful, I'm generous. Okay, those are things that you do for someone. What are things that make someone like you? I feel like the patriarchy and sort of centering other people, or especially men for women, it's come from a place of, okay, what can I add to this person's life? What can I do for them? But then if that was taken away, what would you invite from them?
Yeah.
Or like how would you show up as a
Yeah.
person?
And I feel like at any point of time, we're not trying to dismiss the idea that your partner, somebody you love, your friends do add a lot to your life,
Of
right?
course.
And they kind of do bring a lot to your life. And there's like this amalgamation of, each other's sort of life stories that you kind of build,
Yeah.
and then the relationship flourishes. I think to bring the yap together, I feel like the yap here
Yeah.
is to kind of also understand the idea that decentering men is not about I don't
He seems to have
think-
decentered the podcast. Relax, bro.
We're not decentering you.
We're
You're
not
quite in the
central.
center actually. But anyway.
Not one thought behind those eyes, by the way.
I love
Just like-
him. I love.
He's Gajodhar, by the way.
Gajodhar is probably like a repeated occurrence on a podcast
Yeah.
now.
He's a silent investor in this shit. He's a real shrink.
He's given us a lot of money to talk about this today. He wants to center elephants in decenter men in this entire conversation.
The entire point of this conversation today is how to decenter men and center elephants in your life. At the end of this, you all are going to get an adoption link to get elephants. And
I
then
would love that.
that is
elephants
my
are so
dream,
cute.
to
I love
decenter
them.
men and to live with like 5 elephants, 4 cows, 3 horses. Or I said 3 horses. 3 horses and 2 dogs.
I love it.
And 4 chickens. I need my eggs.
chickens.
Yeah.
Oh.
For some reason, my brain just went like chickens.
Sure, I guess. I mean, like we're
We've
support
decentralized education.
support us, and we'll buy a farm, and then all of our loyal subscribers are going to get farm products every time you leave a comment on it.
In classic TCUJ fashion, we've gone on to entrepreneurship. We have
So
a farm now.
we built a school in, I think, one of the
Yeah,
episodes
we
earlier.
made a school.
We made a school, and now we're going to farms.
We're making a farm, by
We're
the way.
making a farm.
Organic honey coming to you 2026.
Decenter men, center farms. Anyway, bringing back
farms.
logo articulation. What was I saying? The yap.
The app is.
The yap is that decentering men is not about, or decentering men, marriage, romantic relationships. I
Anything
feel like
that's
this-
driven by the patriarchy.
yeah. I think decentering all of that essentially allows you a lot of choice.
Yeah.
As to how you want to coexist
Mhm.
with somebody in a relationship, and it gives a sense of some equality, of course, as much as possible
Yeah.
in a certain way. But yeah, like it's not about not talking to men, not having men in your life,
Yeah.
not giving them importance, not loving them. It's about understanding how your relationship with men exists when it's not driven by this protector, breadwinner narrative that's around that.
And how
I guess.
your relationship with yourself is as someone who is entering a relationship, right?
Hmm.
Because then you can't always just be in tandem of, okay, this is what I do for you, this is what you do for me. Because at one point you're gonna have a day where you don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
And then what happens?
Yeah.
That you haven't done anything for me, so I can't show up for you.
yeah.
So you can't do that.
So yeah, like I think the question that I come back to then is that in a world that's kind of driven by, raised by, still exists in the blankets of patriarchy, I feel like patriarchy is inside of us at this one. Chillax. There's no,
Sorry, I'm a child.
in our blood. It's internalized so much.
Patriarchy.
It's true. We do this a lot, no? This
We do.
injecting things.
Yeah, I feel like it's a great way to express passion about something. One of my very dear friends had once said that I wish like iced coffee was
Yeah.
injected in me.
Oh
like
wow. I would
that.
have
Then there was a straw. Like,
should we patent
we're not moving on to another business.
technology? This is going to be our patented
Technology.
patent pending.
Iced coffee arms.
Wow, so tempting. Anyway, bringing back articulation, I feel like yeah. How do we do it? How do we decenter men? How do we, in a world that's so driven, raised up by patriarchy, how do we decenter men?
Block them, all of them. Forget men existed. at all.
Again, I will keep my personal opinion.
This is what Instagram is making it sound like. But no, I feel like a lot of times, even in our conversations with any woman that I have, I feel like so many women are coming to the realization that, oh, what we were promised of a man are things that one community, second ourselves, have been able to achieve. So I feel like it's mostly about pouring into your other relationships the way you would in a relationship. That I always sort of, this is a conversation I have a lot in the therapy room, that a lot of times actions in relationships look different in a
Yeah.
relationship and friendships.
yeah.
And then I ask, okay, what's the difference? What switched? And then there's not enough of an answer except like having for us to unpack years of conditioning.
Yeah.
That, oh, I'm supposed to make my partner feel nice, but I can be, for the lack of a better word, entitled around my
Yeah.
friends. That
Yeah.
I can just be like, oh, sure, I don't have
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. And I also feel like that as women, like because marriages and men and all of these romantic relationships have been seen as these sort of sites and these places where you will get like ultimate fulfillment, then we also kind of reserve our ultimate investment
Yeah.
for that relationship,
I
right?
love
Like
that.
what if I'm doing ultimate investment in a friendship or in a community or even in my romantic relationship, say like with a man, and then I'm just like doing my ultimate investment everywhere,
Yeah.
and I'm getting ultimate fulfillment from every place. Like, who's to say that sure, I can come with finite energy, but I don't come with finite love. I
Yeah.
feel like love, affection, the kind of like connection you build with somebody, I do truly believe that's infinite.
It
I
keeps
don't think
growing,
it's finite.
and there's no, you know, like one sentence I have never understood is that, oh, I'm like over pouring with love.
Yeah,
Like love is pouring out of me. I feel like we're all endless pots
yeah.
that can hold on to as much love that comes our way. All right. Yes, but that makes me think how you said that it's fine if I get like an infinite sort of in return back.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it's just making me think that have women always been taught to be satisfied with less? Like
Mm.
your love or your respect or admiration should only come from one place
Mm.
and one source, and that is what you should be happy with.
Yeah, like what
No?
if I have a bunch of friends who really love me, and I have a partner who loves me, and I have a community of people I work with and they love me, then am I only supposed to consider what's coming from my partner as the
Yeah.
ultimate, the right kind of love? That's so unfair to A, me, and B, to the people who are taking out time to make me feel that
Yeah.
way.
And who is the hierarchy benefiting?
Yeah.
Like whose ego is this hierarchy stroking
Yeah.
the most?
Yeah.
That you're like the paramount,
Patriarchy.
that you're the paramount source of love and affection, and no one does it like you, and you're the best.
Yeah, I
And-
feel like that it's so convenient, and I often get faced with this question a lot, right? Like, oh, but are you saying that men and patriarchy are the same? No,
No.
we're saying patriarchy is this system, and it's so invisible that you can't point one person and be like, hey, patriarch, come down off your throne.
But it's also incredibly systemically upheld by
Yeah.
men, and it's
Yeah.
the responsibility does come down to them to sort of be aware of their
Yeah.
actions. Because I know for a fact that if I was sitting with my girlfriends, and like if I'm sitting with you and if I tell you something that I did, you would immediately clock me that
Yeah.
that's not nice.
Yeah,
But then men protect men in a very specific way,
yeah.
and that we've just divulged from the conversation. a
I
little
feel
bit.
like that's bringing up a lot of anger
It
for me.
really is, which
So
is
we
why
just come back to
Articulation.
love.
Love. and womanhood.
Womanhood. But no, I feel like that's the thing that because as a woman, I'm taught that okay, like your the paramount love has to be the one
Yeah.
from your husband, so to say. I am then since I've kind of taught this from a very very young age, I'll be incredibly conditioned to kind of dismiss a lot of love that might come my way
Yeah.
from other women, from friends, from people who really care for me, from community, from different spaces. Again,
And also your ability to ask for that
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
That, the trope, oh my god, I'm so angry. The trope of a woman just constantly wanting attention.
yeah,
कि वो ये तो मेरा पीछा ही नहीं छोड़ती है. I always say this, people are like annoying entitled houseplants. We
Yeah.
need attention or we
Yeah.
will die. And attention's never a bad thing.
it's a great
So-
thing. Ask us.
It's we have a podcast for fuck's sake. But I just feel like it also interrupts so much of your asking for help process, because
Yeah.
it feels like, oh, I can't do that anywhere else. I can't let my guard down fully with someone else, because we've never been shown examples of that.
Yeah.
That a man will walk into your life and then you're just like, Sanjana. Sitting on a guitar.
But to be honest, Sanjana had a great group of girlfriends.
It's true. That is
Sanjana,
true.
I don't think Sanjana centered men. Sanjana, you're an
Sanjana-
overacting idol.
Sanjana, you will always be that girl.
You'll
Like,
always be that girl.
especially the guitar. Like she said, I'm about to take matters in my own.
Yeah, she
No
she
chords,
centered
no.
herself. Like that's the hero we're looking for. I feel like, is that all Kareena Kapoor characters though?
Yeah.
Like Pooh
She's
had a
quite-
great group of girlfriends.
Not really. They were quite bitchy.
But
They were
I
little
mean,
minions.
they were minions, no? But Pooh never centered men.
It's true.
It's true.
Robbie.
What else?
Tell me
Oh,
how
wow.
it was.
I'm guys, we're
That's
just going
literally
into
my
this
favorite
spiral now.
movie. No, but then again, sorry, we need to go on this spiral.
Oh, we are
No,
going
we
on.
are going on this very much.
Back, I guess.
Dude, Geet meets this hot ass dude. She's like, dude, fuck you, my train miss ho gayi hai.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
need my train. You do whatever the hell you want. And she
Yeah.
only centered him because she needed protection.
It's true.
Geet had that wisdom.
Geet had that wisdom. It's
Kareena
and
Kapoor, if you're watching
if
this.
you're watching this, We
Of
love
course.
you. I
Dude,
guess
I
we love
feel
your
like
character.
the point of life is to be delusional. To me, my audience is Kareena Kapoor right now.
Karina,
I love you.
Anyway,
So
bringing
sorry,
back
but
articulation and everything.
yeah, the app.
The yap.
The app is that it is incredibly unfair how women have always been taught that only a man can be like at the top of like the hierarchy of love. And just the sentence hierarchy of love sounds so insane that
Yeah.
how do you rate love that comes
Yeah.
from you? Like, oh, you love me, that's a 4 on 10. Go to the bottom feeder. But but it's unfair to men, it's unfair to you, it's unfair to all the people that
Yeah.
bring in so much love and warmth into your life, because then if we don't value the love that we get, it's I've
Then
lost my train of thought.
then we are at loss, no? Like we are
Yes.
kind of depriving ourselves and then putting this pressure on this one person to give all that love. It's benefiting nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody except this one system of patriarchy and marriage. And I'm getting angry. It's benefiting nobody.
That's where it crumbles, right? Like, let's say there's just one person you expect everything from. Like, if I really like, I don't know, dude, turtles, and I have a partner who doesn't really like
Or
turtles,
who's allergic to
who's
turtles?
allergic to turtles, is scared of turtles, and then I'm just like, you're a bad person for not wanting to talk turtles with me.
Yeah.
Make a friend who likes turtles.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Turtles, man. Great, right?
I love turtles.
I love turtles. I don't actually. I hate them, but
We're next to each other because I have friends
yes,
who love turtles and I don't need to talk to her about turtles.
exactly. We can
That's
talk about
it.
Kareena Kapoor if you're watching.
But make Netflix pick this up. I don't know.
What are we doing on Netflix then?
I don't know. Telling people about
Hey Netflix.
turtles.
Sure.
Hey Netflix. This is our...
Hey Netflix, if you want two people, one who doesn't like turtles, one who's, I don't know, obsessed with turtles for some reason, you know where to find us.
Reach out. The contact is in
Dude,
box
the
below.
business creation
love
that has
it.
happened today.
This podcast has decentered men and centered entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I thought we were dapping each other up. We'll do it again.
Okay, I guess. Like, this is what men do.
Okay. I think
Moving on from
Yeah.
turtles. But no, it's true, right? Like if
Yeah,
you
it's
hate
true.
turtles and I love turtles and I have other people to talk to turtles about, we're talking about turtles a lot. How will life look like, if we've really decentered men and if we kind of get to that place again? I don't think so. The burden of the entire society lies on my shoulder.
Yeah.
But say like if there's one person who's watching this and they really want to do this, what would you want to tell them? How would life look like?
I think something that is important, no, is to sort of decentering men will have to come with a value or an intent of understanding that you'll also have to know that you like turtles. No?
Turtles? Men?
I mean, but you'll have to know what you like. You'll have to
Yeah.
know what you want. I think you had posted on your story a couple of days ago that it is incredibly important to know how you want to be loved.
Yeah.
And when you know how you want to be loved, you know for a fact that it can't come from one sole
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
No, that, oh, I want people who would appreciate my love for pasta, or I want people who would appreciate or like be enraged with me when I speak about the patriarchy. And it's okay if those two aren't the same.
Yeah.
We can have different places for different things, because centering men is like going in, like expecting every shop to be like a super mega blaster store.
Also, Super Mega Blaster Store doesn't have everything.
Yeah,
Like,
and they're so scary to be in. Why does your
it's
store
so
have
overstimulating?
52 aisles?
Like it's how do you go into that and know what you need? I know the least when I'm in a Super Mega
It's
Blaster
true.
store.
I'm just like, raisins.
I'm like,
Do I need them?
need reasons?
I was there to buy eggs, dude.
And then I walk out and I have like 5 bags of something
And 2 plants.
and none of them have eggs. So my needs are not fulfilled. But my money is spent. And this metaphor is great.
Great, actually.
Great. But like, yeah, my money is spent. I don't have eggs. I have a lot of baggage
And
with
my
me.
space is full, right? And my hands are
Yeah.
hurting. And then I'm just like, oh, but I really wanted eggs.
So I'm just out of that space with baggage. Now I have to use that baggage up, free the space, then go again and buy eggs.
But then I'll be lost again because I never bloody wrote down that I wanted eggs.
And I never went just to the egg shop to get eggs. I went again to the Mega Blaster store.
This is about supporting small businesses.
Which is our farm, our Netflix documentary.
The callback has gone insane this week.
This is Meta. This is a
Meta, if you're watching this.
Are we sure we want to do this?
No.
We're pitching a
Does
lot.
someone want to hire us for business strategy? Because, like, if this is what we could do with an idle 20 minutes of speaking, imagine what 30 dedicated minutes could do.
You will have to give us eggs though.
Yeah.
That's
But we can also give you eggs because we're gonna have it has gone too far. It's plummeted into space. How do we
we'll reel it in. We'll just like I'm pulling the ropes up.
what the fuck are
This
these
is
ropes?
articulation.
The articulation, okay, but how will life look like?
Yeah.
But I think it would look like it would start from a place of us knowing what we want.
Mhm.
Because as women, we've been taught to not have any access to pleasure.
Yeah.
That you can't ask for things.
Yeah.
You shouldn't ask for things. You should just be happy with what you've been given.
No super mega blaster mart.
Absolutely not.
No,
Specialty
exactly.
stores are farms bringing back articulation.
Yes, but I
What
feel
else
like
do you
that,
think?
yeah, like that's such a great sort of idea, no, to kind of also know how you want to be loved.
Yeah.
Because if I know that I want to be loved, through nice words, through acts of service, through maybe people kind of coming and picking up from the airport. But what if my partner doesn't know how to drive? Does it mean that they don't love me? No, it just means that I meet them when I go home and a friend is coming over
Yeah.
and driving, and that's love too. And I feel like that's the thing. That's what we really need to understand, that spending time with yourself, going to therapy, having these conversations really allows us to understand what makes us feel valuable.
Yeah.
And when we know what makes us feel valuable and loved, we then go into these relationships knowing exactly what can be offered,
Yeah.
what is there,
Hmm.
and then what is it that we can want from different spaces. in
Yeah.
life.
And again, that going back to that point where you said it's also unfair to people that also pour in
Hmm.
their love for us. Let's say you really like plants and there's like 10 different plants in your house, but one of them's acting up. And you keep sort of spend your entire time trying to fix it when you don't pay attention to all other plants. Your home garden is not going to
Yeah.
flourish.
Oh,
But
yeah,
maybe
that's
that plant would just need
It's a good one.
a
Good
little
one.
time. Thank you.
Good one.
Validation. But yeah, I feel like it's important to sort of have a host of things around you
Yeah.
and pour into them as much as they do into you. It's not about transaction as much as it is reciprocity.
Yeah. And I
And-
feel like that's such a, like, how we're kind of, like how roses as flowers are so,
Yeah.
like, romanticized, like one rose. Like, would you rather have one rose, or would you have like a full bouquet of flowers that has multiple flowers and it's so
Yeah.
pretty, and there's a garden and there's an orchard? And this is not to say that that rose can really mean a lot to you, but why deny yourself the prettiness of a full bouquet?
Yep.
Like, I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's
Great
what it
metaphors
is.
today.
So, metaphor company. Whoever you are.
Who the hell is a metaphor company? Are you targeting the English language as a whole? What are these called? Literary devices.
Any sort of editing, publishing house
Mhm.
who wants to hire us for
Metaphors.
metaphors.
We're here. We have a farm up. She likes turtles. Writers of Ninja Mutant.
We have gone very,
We've
very
gone-
far. We are centering turtles.
We're
So
centering
we're talking
turtles.
about Ninja Mutant.
Oh,
Mutant
I
Ninja.
forgot my favorite thing. I'm so sorry. I feel like any time it feels like you have to decenter men, I need everyone to read about the Bechdel test.
Yes.
It's a test that you use in movies to see how long two women characters can go without talking about a man.
Yeah.
Women, we aren't thinking about it enough.
It's true.
Absolutely
It's true.
not.
I feel like Bechdel test lives in
Fine
my head
words. It's
at
here.
all times.
Like, I don't have a frontal lobe. I
It's
have a
Bechdel
test
test.
guideline.
It's there. It's there. Like, if I fail Bechdel test very often, but also
Could never be me.
it's so much training, so much unlearning you require to be like, hey, I passed the Bechdel test. I think there's only a few movies, no, that passed the Bechdel test.
I can't think of any at this point.
I read about a movie which passed the Bechdel test. I'm not sure.
I think Fleabag passes it a lot in places.
Yeah, I see Fleabag, Little Women, little bit.
Also, Killing Eve.
Yeah.
Great show. But we've gone
Anyway,
too far
coming
off.
back.
The Grand Yap.
The Grand Yap. The Grand Yap is that decentering men is not about disallowing love in your life. I feel like it's completely contrary to that. Decentering men really means that you let a lot of love come into your own lives, and without the pressure of that love coming from that one person or that one relationship, while that relationship could be the most important to you in the world, but that doesn't take away from the importance that other relationships, other spaces hold in your life. And I feel like that's the bouquet of flowers we should be aiming for. Ladies. I said ladies like
Ladies and leaders. I'm so
fail the Bechdel test right away.
But so funny. I feel like if you're funny, you can fail the Bechdel test once. Other than that, keep passing it, ladies. Keep decentering men. Men, also decenter yourselves a little.
Yeah, like
Stop talking about property all the time.
Men should center flowers. Women should decenter men. I feel like everyone should decenter men.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not going into the
Maybe another episode. Maybe it'll come from our farm. But so that's okay.
should we shoot on a farm?
We should shoot on a farm. Farmers. Watching this.
We've gone too far away from the topic, but anyway, bringing back everything in.
Yes.
Decenter men, pass the Bechdel test. Keep watching Shing Shake Pod. Give us more business
Drink water.
deals. Netflix.
I panicked.
Pick it up. Pick
us up. Kareena
us
Kapoor,
up.
if you're watching, call me, babe. We need to have a chat. Long
We will
duo.
see you in 2 weeks. Tell us how you like the episode. Share your views, opinions, how you have decentered men. Let other women know. And we will see you very, very soon. Thank you for watching.
Bye bye.